Welcome back into the workshop. Well, the sketchy builder workshop in the sketchy side of things. Sketchy. That's not right. Sketchup side of things. Yeah, that's better. What do we have here? Well, we've got three choices. And in this case, it's for the router, dimensioning router extension to the workbench. So imagine, if you would, that these are the three options that would get added onto the large workbench that's out in the workshop. I have just received, within the last 24 hours, probably in the last 18 hours, the new router lift that's going to be put into the router station. But it's also going to be put into the router, dimensioning router set up for the workbench, as indicated here. So what we're going to do is add a top surface, so you can imagine that the workbench ends here and extends out to the right. So this top surface gets pinned onto the workbench, and this is the lower layer that helps tie everything together and make it a little bit more robust. So it's two layers of 18mm, and we've got inserted the router plate here. The trouble is, the permanent fixing of the router will be in the router station. And these black feet here, the corner feet, are what mount it to the underside of the surfaces, and the router sits onto it. It screws down and locks into place, and then it's got little grub screws on either side of the bolt for levelling. Yes, but I need two sets of these. So I approached the company to see whether they sell them as an accessory, and yes, they do. Very, very helpful they were too, to be fair. But through just talking backwards and forwards, they didn't actually sell them as a separate item, but they could, and so they accommodated me there. So that was good of them. But it was going to cost $19 for the set, $21 for the set of 4 feet, plus $19 for postage. And I thought, no, $19 for postage for something like this? No. Anyway, that's what they said. They were helpful. They weren't being obstructive or anything, so I've got to say that. But I thought, no, I felt a little bit aggrieved after having paid, and I'm not going to tell you how much, for the actual postage for the unit. It was just, daylight robbery. But when you get the thing, it is a heavy unit. But still, even that, the price was very, very high. But I thought, get the router lift, get it into the workshop, make use of it, and just suck it up and just say, well, sometimes you don't get the best deal that you thought. Besides which, as it turned out, it was a little bit cheaper from getting it through different resellers, as it turned out. And plus, this reseller bundled in a digital readout for it. So I'm going, oh, okay, they're not very expensive, but I thought, that's okay. So yeah, I'm very happy with the purchase, other than having to pay the freight cost, the courier cost. Anyway, that's what you don't need to know, but now you do. So we've got three choices here. Just remove the plates. This was the... Okay, so I watched a video by Dennis from Hooked on Wood, and he was making the comment, which is relevant to me. It's a bit tricky using the feet as supplied in a double layer of 18mm work surface, which is exactly what I've got. His was already built, I think, so it became a little bit more tricky for him. So what he wound up doing was rebaiting his feet into the bottom layer, because you need a certain distance from the top of the foot here, the surface of the foot here, to the plate. That's to allow for the fixing screw at this point here, and the two little grub screws on either side for levelling. You can't have it too far down, otherwise you run out of adjustment with the grub screws, etc. So he rebaited his into the bottom layer. This one, in fact, I'll just hide that, into this white layer as shown here. So I thought, okay, hang on a minute, because I'm making mine, and Dennis's was his top was already laminated together, so he couldn't do what I'm doing. But I thought, oh, hang on a minute. Instead of me rebaiting it, why don't I just cut the hole bigger? Yeah, so that accommodates the sides of the feet. Yeah, that's good. And of course, it can just screw straight up to the underneath side of the 18mm. Well, that makes sense. So I'm effectively doing what Dennis has done, but just a little bit, easier for me. And I thought, I'm just screwing into the bottom of the 18mm, and it is a fairly heavy router. Wasn't all that comfortable with that. It would have been fine, probably. And after all, this is not the permanent fixing. Okay. So then I came up with the idea of, hang on a minute. And I just worked out that there'll be enough wriggle room for this. What happened if I cut the hole like normal, like the double layer, and put a pad or a plate underneath the surface itself, the two surfaces, so that I can put a bit of aluminium box section across there, which I've got plenty of. That will give me enough wriggle room for the plate to adjust up and down, just for the fine tuning. Oh, that's a good idea. Looked at it a bit longer, and that's actually quite a smart way of doing it. Oh, hang on. Here's an even smarter way of doing it. Let's route out the top with the template, so that's the nice fit. Yippee. And then cut out the hole just with a jigsaw in the bottom layer. Oh, that's not a silly idea, says I. So that's what I'm contemplating doing now. And therefore I can put the router top in the plate itself and the router, suspended in there, and I've got something nice and strong to mount onto. I'd put a threaded insert at this point here, yippee, and I might put a little bit of metal sheet, shim in here so that the grub screws have got something, hard to push onto instead of the melamine surface. Oh, that's a good idea. And then I might leave the bottom layer a little bit sticky-outy here for whatever reason, I don't know, but it may be able to be utilised. Just that it's better to be there than not there, and what wished it had been there. You get what I mean? So if I can come in 10, 15 mil in each side, that'll be great. I'm just going to draw it in a photo. We've got that there. That's the underneath side of the unit. So I've got a little bit of wriggle room at this point here, and a little bit here. Maybe have to think about this, but yeah, I can have a look at how they work. Actually, that's not the same. This is the trouble with these sites. They don't always have the photos of the actual product that you're going to use. Let's just pause it there, and I'll bring in the other photo. That should be it. Hang on, wait there. Okay, I went and found the photo, and it is significantly different. And here it is. I'm just dragging it in now. Totally different. I'm going to have a bit of a look at that. This is the bushings here, different from these ones here somewhat, but it's the body that's quite different. This, not the body, but what you would want to call this. Wonder whether it's the same. Interesting. And that is a bit of an issue with these different sites. Sometimes they're not even connected, the photos, and you think, what the hell? What I was hoping to have achieved was to make the opening a little bit narrower. Hang on, I'll just come down here, because we've got this measurement of about 300 long this way. That if I could reduce it down somewhat, it would be a bit of an advantage. But now that I look at this photo, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I might be lucky or not. It all depends how far the router plate itself and this part close up on each other to see how much I can extend out this way the custom wood on the lower layer. So that one, delete. That's the mechanism there. I'm going to have to go out and have a look at that. The hope was, in fact, let's just delete that, shall we? The hope was that by extending I'm going to get rid of this, extending this point here and this point this way, it makes the opening smaller. Now, my original idea was to have a separate lower layer like this, and then the top layer go on top of it and pin together with the bench dog, the standoffs, as I do. But then I came up with the idea, hang on, the bottom layer of the workbench itself might be able to be pulled off of the workbench because it's separate, the way it's been designed. That means I could pull the layers, which are 3 pieces that run 2.4 by 300 or 400 wide. I don't know whether we've got a 400 wide, 400 wide panel in the middle. So imagine a 400 by 2.4 long panel. Well, that's the bottom layer, which is represented here. So if I drag that out and cut the hole in that panel, I don't have to have a separate panel at all. Oh, that might be a good idea. For all sorts of reasons. And one of the biggest ones is it's easy. The second one is it's actually going to act as part of the support, which makes these supports here work a whole lot less hard. And in fact, they may even change completely because of that, capability of the hand. Yeah, anyway, we don't know. But if we can shrink the hole down a little bit, it'll probably fit quite well into that strip. I'm going to have to go outside. This just came, obviously you're probably picking up that I haven't been outside this morning to check this, but that might be a really good way of doing it, if it can be made smaller, the hole that is. It's 300, if we can shrink it down a little bit. Oh, well, that's my task. I'm about to head out there and have a look now because of that. I like that idea. Right. Oh, there's only the one downside, I suppose. If I cut the hole out, will those missing holes in this second the bottom layer cause an issue for anything that I do later on? Only one way to find out, isn't there? Try it and see. Rightio, well that's it. That's the sketchy builder side of the sketchy side of the builder. So that's the workshop update, or Dave's diary update for the, what do you call it? Hang on, I'm banging the table. For the router extension, dimensioning router. There we go. Oh, only 2 cups of tea. Might need another one. Right, that's it. I'm off outside. I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully with a wee bit more info on this as well. Okay, see you later now. Bye.